Hi, today we're talking about All You Need Is Love. That's from Beatles song. All you need is love. Da, 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 da. So, Victoria, what do you think? Is it all you need, or there's anything else you need, or is it correct statement? All you need is love?
I think that it is a correct statement, but it is being misunderstood by lots of people because lots of people, by this phrase, understand that they need love of somebody, so for another person to love themselves. But in fact, the first love that you need is love towards yourself. So, and from this thing, you can achieve everything else that you need. For example, the understanding of yourself, the life that you can achieve and that you will enjoy. And it all comes from loving yourself, but not getting love from somebody else. So, yeah, in this sense, I think that this phrase makes sense. But we need to understand that without being loved by ourselves, we can't truly feel love of others towards ourselves.
Hmm. I always got it as love independently, whether someone loves you or you love someone, or just a state of mind, state of your soul. Like uh, there's another song by Beatles as well. There was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all till there was you. There was love all around. Let's define what love is uh, in the meaning of uh, when we usually colloquially refer to it. All you need is love. What is it?
I think by love they mean the ability to accept, the ability to have some warm feelings towards a person or towards just anything. And yeah, I think it's mainly about the warm feelings that we have. Warm feelings that motivate us to give some care, to trust a person, to just be with him, accept him the way he is. So I think that's what love is.
St. Paul says in his great definition of love, love is patient, love is kind, it is not jealous, it is not inflated, it is not rude, it does not seek its own interests, it is not quick-tempered, it does not brood over injury, it does not rejoice over wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never fails.
I think it's too romantic. I don't think it's true. I think it's too romantic.
Before that, he says, uh, if I speak in human and angelic tongues, but do not have love, I am a resounding gong or a clashing cymbal. And if I have the gift of prophecy and comprehend all mysteries and all knowledge, but if I have all faith so as to move mountains, but do not have love, I'm nothing. I'll give away everything I own And if I hand my body over so that I may boast but do not have love, I gain nothing. It's not the best translation I ever heard, but they are talking about love as a centerpiece of the existence. Love is supposed to move universe forward. God is love. So what kind of love are they it's not enough just to define it as a warm, fuzzy feeling towards someone. It's not strong enough for such a thing.
I just see it in more practical way. Like I'm not a romantic person at all, and it is really hard for me to perceive love as something global. Like I usually perceive it just as some hormones in my brain that are making me feel that way or another way. And yeah, if we're talking about the global love, it's just like the way you like the way you treat other people, the way you treat the world, the way you treat the universe. I don't know, and it's all about these hormones. So basically, like when you were like actually when you were reading this definition of love, I barely got a point because uh, I can argue with this definition like for hours because for me love is not that global thing in the world. Like there are things that maybe not more global, but it's definitely not the way to solve all your problems. It's definitely not the way to um, gain happiness. I don't know.
So love is not all you need.
No, definitely not.
So Beatles were wrong.
Well, yeah, Beatles are actually too romantic for me. Like I love them for their songs, but not for their meaning of their songs.
So St. Paul was wrong.
I would say this.
So God was wrong by saying that he is love.
Well, I don't believe in God, you know. That means that I don't believe in love.
This week you don't believe in God.
Yeah, we haven't seen each other for a while.
Yeah, the bad influence.
Hmm.
Anyways, the interesting thing that I'm pragmatic and as much as you are, and I do believe in hormones as well, but it doesn't interfere with the fact that uh, this is the most amazing thing that is happening to us when we experience the action of those hormones in the combination with it's not the pure hormones. It's not like if I inject oxytocin, it will probably lead to contractions of the uterus in women because oxytocin
Yeah.
is used, and the first time I got to know this uh, substance when I was taking the classes in obstetrics, and it was used to stimulate the labor.
Yeah,
The
but he has like different purposes in brain and in the body. Like, and it comes to all hormones.
Yeah, I understand that, but still, there should be a psychological component to the action of the hormone, right? Sometimes we interpret the action of the hormone psychologically, like those um, tests when the patients were injected epinephrine, adrenaline, and they were told that it's just a vitamin, and they felt that their heartbeat got faster, and they interpreted it as they are getting worried or stressed, even though there was no external, and they would find the psychological reason for that. That's true, but hormones doesn't diminish our human properties. It just explain in a certain way, in a certain theory, how they work. But that's very interesting idea right now. I'm thinking that the fact that we discover that behind very important psychological and um, uh, spiritual things, there are simple chemical reactions, doesn't diminish those things. Like they were talking about that the sense of faith can be traced down to some hormones in to some activity in certain part of the brain, but it doesn't prove anything. Of course, it would. It doesn't prove there is God, there is no God. Any activity of our body has the physical processes underlying physical processes, so it doesn't prove anything.
But
It's
like, what if you take some drug that stimulates the feelings of being loved, love towards other people, and it would feel much more strong. It would feel stronger than the feelings of love that we experience during our ordinary life. Does that mean that if we see love as a point of everything, we should just continue on taking these drugs?
it's was called a love potion, love
Poison.
poison. It's it's abnormal things that we're discussing. Yes, of course, someone that gets a couple of drinks, he is more prone to feel love to everybody else, and it's not exactly the love that we are discussing.
But what's the
Uh,
difference?
the thing is that I think that feeling love is a very pleasant feeling. And it is not necessarily connected to sexual attraction. Love can be experienced towards those that we do not have sexual attraction to. Even it's hard to believe that there might be any human being we don't, but probably we don't have sexual attractions to any single human being. We might feel love towards pets, cats, that to suspect us in being sexually involved with would be probably ridiculous for now, and even other things that not material at all. But we can train ourselves in increasing this feeling towards it can be trained. We can train ourselves, allow ourselves love others, and train ourselves to protect again ourselves from unpleasant experiences when people get this wrong, or they feel a burden that someone treating them too good, suspecting maybe someone wants something from them beyond whatever they are ready to provide. And it can be quite a selfish thing. Like, you catch a person and you love this person, love this person, and it's selfish because you love to love. Does it make
But
sense?
I mean, it's cool. And for example, I think that I'm a pretty loving person because, I'm a teacher and usually I'm really kind towards my students and I'm really kind to other people as well. but it's just like my usual state of mind. And for me, it's not been something special during all the days that and I taught myself to have the ability to love others because I used to be a very narcissistic girl who loved only herself. So I taught myself to do this, and now it's just my usual state of mind, and it's not enough for me to just live my life. Like, I would be just bored if all I had was love towards others.
Yeah, but it has different expressions, love. Everything we do can be interpreted in terms of love and hate and like helping people. When you teach someone, you love them. That's it can be an expression of love as well. Sometimes they say it's not good that you just show off that you love someone while you don't. But the interesting thing is fake it until you make it.
Yeah.
Because sooner or later you will. It has like what comes around, what goes around comes around, right? Sooner or later.
But
So
what do you perceive as love? Like, as long as we can use it towards anything. Like, I love to play the piano, for example, or I love people around me, or I love where I live. I don't know.
when we say I love playing piano, it's just the figure of speech.
Is it?
It's not, yeah, because it's not even grammatically correct. You need to say I like playing, yeah, not love.
No,
It
yeah,
would be,
you can say I love to play the piano.
yeah, but it is exaggeration which is used uh, in a modern language.
But
Nor-
can't
Normally,
I have the
normally,
same?
normally, love is something that you feel the affection towards the person or creature, and like something towards the action or subject or anything else. It's like broken English or exaggeration, like mm, we got corrected in our times when we learned English, not to
What's
use
the
love.
actual difference between a feeling of love towards some person or a feeling of love towards the process of playing the piano?
Because playing the piano is the action or subject, object.
Mhm.
And when you love someone, it's a subject, it's a kind of individual. It's love includes genuine interest and readiness to sacrifice something for someone.
Yeah, and we can apply this to the process of playing the piano. Like, I'm a pianist by myself, so that's why I'm arguing with you on that.
No,
Because
in modern language, it's interchangeable. I love doing this. I love this and that.
well, I
Uh,
mean, sometimes I feel like I have the same feelings toward my piano instrument that I may have toward, like, I have less feelings towards people towards people who I say that I love them.
well, you can keep it to yourself, not go public with that. It has always element of certain sacrifice and interest toward the subject that you uh, feel the affection towards. But it's an interesting thing. Like what I was always arguing was that love shouldn't be limited only to the loved ones. You can love anybody, anywhere, anytime, and it's enormously pleasant experience. Mm.
Yeah, it is. And it's a big art to be mastered, to being able to love someone, to love anyone in this world. But I don't think that it is the thing that most of people actually need to, for example, be happy. Like some people, they see some point in it, and mm, they are focused on this feeling of love, and that's why they want to exaggerate it on all people, on everything. But for some people, love, for example, is just like a feeling, and they have some feelings that are more important to them, and for them that thing wouldn't work.
I think it's quite universal because it comes to this again. There are two forces in nature: to propagate our species, to pass our genes to next generation, and we have love for this as well, like the ordinary, usual meaning of love towards opposite sex, right? And another force, very, very potent force, is to support your own kin, like your tribe, your people, your group of people. And as we know now that it also releases very strong hormonal response as well. And that's why we can feel good that way too. And that's what I have discovered when I felt this need to love everybody. I didn't have the explanation why I'm so weird. And I started with Christianity and opened the shelter and started to accept. And this thing was more and more pronounced and more bold in my life. And then I found this explanation that actually there's no miracle in what happened to me. There is this mechanism, and it is present in any human being. Of course, it can be different, like sexual drive can be different in different persons, but it is most of the time present. And when I discovered it, that you can actually enjoy other people, not necessarily in sexual way, or this opens the whole world. Like you can love as many as you wish, and the intensity of these feelings can change, right?
Yeah, but if we are talking about some, evolutional process, it doesn't really work like that because, like, as you said, there are three forces, but I'm not really agree on which forces you've mentioned. Because, like, the first is the individual selection, like when you want to pass your genes to another generation. The second one is like your family, because instead of passing your own genes, you can pass the genes of two of your brothers or 8 of your cousins, for example. Like it's just simple math because you worth 2 brothers and you are worth for 8 cousins. And the third one, as you said, it is support towards towards your group, towards your pride, but it is not just support. It always comes with so they conducted a research and they were researching different animals, and yeah, they had this altruism towards other species or towards not the members of their families.
Mhm.
But with that always came the ability to predict whether you are gonna be whether they are gonna lie to you or play around with you. So you can't love without being suspicious about towards those who you love and who you support and who you help. And this is what the theory of games based on. You know the theory of games? So you can't just be, and it is always like eye for an eye and tooth for a tooth. So if you are kind towards someone and you expect them to be kind towards you as well, and if they're not kind, you're not going to be kind anymore towards them.
No, it's not love. It's love is based on absolute altruism.
Yeah, but it is not, as long as it's not evolutionarily profitable, we are not supposed to be like this. We can develop this, feature, but it is really hard because evolutionary and our bodies and our brains, they are meant to do different things.
Again, evolutionary, it's important that the whole ecosystem would survive.
No, it is not important for the evolution actually. Like it's not important for evolution for species to survive. It's only important to pass your genes, your own genes to the next generation. They
Yeah,
don't care about saving the species.
No, again, especially for social species, it's important to support the social groups because they cannot survive when they're alone.
Yeah, but it's not about just a total altruistic love. It's like I support you, you support me. If you're not supporting me, I'm not supporting you. And that's how all the prides and all the nature societies work. It's not like about the altruism at all. And they do really take that in mind. Like for example, when they also conducted a research about the lion's pride, and they put a speaker into some trees, and there was a really, really loud sound of some danger coming up. And of course, all the lions in the pride, they looked at the trees where the speaker was, and so the researchers were expecting that all of them need to come here, like it's dangerous. So, and you are in potential danger if you come towards here. So they were expecting everybody to come here, but there were always some lions that were behind, and nobody seemed to mention that they were behind and kind of sneaky and not really into checking the danger. But then they figured out that in the other social interactions, they actually did something for the pride. So, for example, they ate less meat or they were good at hunting. So it's always tooth for a tooth. So nobody's gonna do something just to do it, just to be altruistic.
It is very important how you, first of all, what kind of animals you check, what kind of
Yeah, of course.
how you design your experiments, and we can argue until no end about what is the evidence that we can bring to the things like this.
Yeah,
or
but like
others.
for me, for example, if we were evolutionarily meant to take care of our species, we wouldn't have that much wars between human beings. I
Wars
think so.
is no, but wars are very well explained by the competition. Wars is the continuation of the sexual competition. Even those classic wars like Troy, it actually developed as a continuation of sexual competition when Minilai and Helen and Paris got Helen affair with Helen and took her to Troy, and Minilai has gathered all the kings that came and were fighting Troy for 10 years, and then they destroyed Troy. Like it's a continuation of obvious sexual competition, right?
So that means that sexual competition is something that obviously higher in its meaning than just being altruistic.
Again, it's two forces that balance things.
I don't think so. Like I don't think that altruism is balancing anything. Like I really believe that like it is really hard, like as long as it's really hard to find a person who is able to just love everybody. And like it is really hard because it may seem that there are some altruistic people around, but if you go deeper, you'll find some psychological problems and that it's not like the altruism at all. So as long as it's really hard, that means that that's not a usual thing to do for people.
Those are the patterns, and we follow the patterns. We are very strongly influenced by the society we're in. And what's acceptable in one society is not acceptable in another society. And if it is not well developed, like being a volunteer, to help each other, to be helpful, to be non-aggressive, you will not be. And even if you are, with the time, you will adjust your behavior to the behavior of the society you live in. For example, in Canada, people are very nice. And it is the social norm to hold the door if you are opening the door first and let someone to come through this door. And other small things that always to say yes, thank you, please. And
Don't you
even
think that it comes not from the altruism, but just the social norm, and people
it's
might
a
be just
social norm.
hypocritic?
It's a social norm, which sooner or later leads to the true altruism. Like it's not against the human nature. It is not that hard for humans to adopt this norm.
Yeah, but we can't say that people who hold the door for you, they don't come back home and loading their gun to make a turret or something.
That's right. But when they're holding the door, they have this push of the oxytocin that they're doing.
I don't think so. Like I just do it mechanically lots of the times. And you know, following some social norms isn't the thing that comes from your deep emotions. That like each time you're holding the door, you're thinking about the profit that you're bringing to society and etc. and etc. So it all depends on your perception of the action. Like for example, for me, like I started to argue tones of social norms when I was little, and when I was just holding the door, for example, I was just like, why am I doing this? Why I am meant to do this as a good
Is
person?
it acceptable in Russia to hold the door?
Well, like they're trying to teach it. Like, yeah, usually, yeah, we do this. Like, especially like, you know, we have this culture of underground, and our doors in the underground are really, really heavy. So it is a social norm to like in Moscow, particularly, to hold the door for other people. But I can't say that these tones of people that holds the door for you during
I
the
the last time I was in Russia was 33 years ago. It was the Soviet Union. And I remember people were very aggressive, very unpleasant, and not nice at all. That's what I remember. To compare the United States with Canada, you can feel this difference. They are not nice at all.
but like they say that in America, for example, they are very soft outside, but they're really closed on the inside, and in
Yeah,
Russia is the other way.
yeah, but when I just oh yeah, Russians are very open. Not only Russians, I would say the Ukrainians, Russians, they're very open when you become friends. They're
Yeah.
very close and very warm and very nice. That's true. Uh, but the social norms are like despising people that don't have means. You call them нищеброды. In our culture, in Canada, there is no any negativity towards someone that doesn't have means. And you don't feel like a loser if you don't have means. I would say it's very egalitarian. People are not trying to show off, to buy expensive cars, and like normally everything is very in this sense, right? So
Like
yeah,
I remember I suggested you to watch the anime, Harmony, it is called. And this anime is about like the perfect society that you're talking about. Like there is no actual hardworking job. The social norm is to help others, is to be nice to others, is to take care of others. Like everybody is volunteering and everybody is so kind, and like they are describing the perfect city or something like this. And eventually it all comes to the point where one girl got obsessed with the idea that we must control our own emotions, and that we must not trap the anger, the egoism inside of us, and we can be angry, we can be rude to someone, and they must allow us to do so. So, and eventually she becomes a terrorist who kills everybody. Like, just very
we
summary.
can't refer to the movies as
Yeah,
to
of
scientific
course,
research.
of
Sometimes we
course.
use the movies like an argument, but we can't.
Yeah,
Uh,
I know. It's definitely like this, but it actually like I truly love this movie, and it actually makes sense to me because when everybody tells you to do something, to be kind to others, like as long as we all are humans and we have some emotions inside us, we have some like bad emotions, like being in need to be rude to someone, sometimes we need to be angry, and so on and so on. And if they tell us to trap these emotions inside us and to follow some social norms, nothing good usually comes out of this.
yeah, but we're not talking about holding in the emotions, even though you're absolutely right. In this society, it is absolutely abnormal to raise the voice. If someone is raising the voice, it's like a terrorist or something. And the only problem is that about half of the population in Toronto are the immigrants.
Mhm.
But even the immigrants, they learn this norm very, very fast. Even the loudness, the volume of our voice is changing. In Israel, it is acceptable to speak with very loud voice. And when I spent some time in Israel and I come to Canada, I can feel that the mismatch. I'm speaking too loud. There's
Yeah.
a joke about Niagara Falls that the guide is talking about Niagara Falls, so how high it is and so on. And then he says, and now the group of tourists from Israel will go away and we will be able to hear the sound of the Niagara Falls.
Yeah, but like in small things, okay, it might work. Like not being loud, hold the doors. In small things, okay, social norms might work. It's just like regular things that we don't pay attention to. But like if we're talking about this deep feeling of love, towards every person. It's like a very, very hard work for most of people, and we can't just do it as a social norm.
Okay, let's change the perspective. In every particular moment, we are making the decision. Like even right now, we are making the decision to continue the conversation or discontinue the conversation, or get engaged in the conversation or not. And if we decide to continue, we make a decision what to say and what not to say. If we decide to finish the conversation, we need to decide what we do next, up to the smallest things. And let's say it's like tabula rasa, the clean piece of paper. Next moment, we can be seeking something. Like, for example, I have a list of things that I need to do. And one of these things is to help someone to do something which is completely altruistic. Out of the whole list of things, I will choose to do firstly this thing, because I know that it will be most pleasant for me to do something that I'm doing completely altruistic. Or like if consciously you are looking for opportunity, like someone is looking for opportunities to get more money, someone to get sexual affection, someone is looking for domination, to dominate over someone. Both are explained by this force of propagating, like supporting your own genes and passing it to next generation. The domination, the sexual attraction, getting more resources, getting more money. But someone might be looking for doing something good for other human being or for somebody else. And at that moment, when we sit idle and make a decision what we are going to do next moment, we have a choice to choose either one strategy or another. And with certain accuracy, we can do the dichotomy. It's either going here or there, or it can be mixed, right? If you want to teach someone, if you have a lesson to teach, it can be because you want money. You want money to get more resources. You get more resources, so you will be able to build your nest and supply to your offspring, theoretically. But you might be helping someone to learn the new language, and you're supporting his or her ability to survive, to build their own nest, to get a better job, and to support their offspring. But because you get compensated for your time, it is not purely altruistic, okay? But if you go extra mile in doing something addition to what you're getting paid, you are doing it as a courtesy, as something extra, right? So at that moment, when we are making up our mind what we do next, we can consciously choose the things that make us to feel good. And both directions will make us feel good. That's why we're doing the things. Even the things that are not pleasant and hard to do, we are doing because it makes us feel good. We do the hard job, even if we don't like it, but we do it because we want to get paid. And the fact that we are doing something towards our aim to get paid makes us feel good. Am I right or not?
Yeah, you're right. But where is love towards others?
Love, when we make a conscious decision to do the altruistic things and even actively looking for opportunities to do it. Like today we had this session after English lesson, and there were like 10 people there. And with each one, I was looking for the opportunity how I can help this person, either by giving an advice or incorporating something that I'm already doing. And I had a lot of pleasant feeling from this. Okay, and already I have undertaken some things that it's easy for me to do because I'm here for 23 years and it's very important for them. And
Yeah, but
yeah,
like, if it comes to just an ordinary person, like, and he has a choice to get $1,000 or to give $1,000, it's
I
not gonna be even
I
50-50.
will, it's even for me, I would prefer to get $1,000.
So most likely we are firstly to help ourselves, and only then we will help others.
Okay, so what? It's not that bad, eh?
Yeah, it's not that bad totally, but I just like you know, for example, I would prefer to give a very, I don't know, fixed little amount of love towards others when I'm capable of it, and other time I will prefer to give it to myself and to give my
Oh,
own.
loving yourself is a good option. I never said it's not good option.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's almost has no difference, by the way. If you're good towards yourself, you get the pleasure twice. As someone that is doing something good for yourself, and as yourself getting something good from someone who is doing something good for you. Oh no, making something good for yourself is very, very good. Very good. It's no doubt. And I actually came to treat myself better by treating others better. And when I treat others better, I think I treat others better. Why don't I treat the same way myself? And so I treat myself the same way. Oh no, that's being selfish is not that bad. It's like a part of this balance between selfishness and altruism, between your own genes and your own motives, right? And someone else's motives. It has to be balanced. We don't want to be around the person that doesn't love himself or herself. They are very unpleasant people to be around. People who doesn't love themselves, they're not nice. They hate
So,
everybody around. They hate themselves. They are sour. They are not nice. Of course, you need to love yourself. And it's easiest way to do because yourself is always available to you.
so can we say that all we need is love?
Yeah, but it actually proves it because whatever you do for yourself, for somebody else, and even if you hate someone, it's always love, but in a negative capacity, как отрицательное наступление.
Uh-huh.
Like, I love you negatively. Someone said that the worst is to be, how we say равнодушный по-английски, я забыл.
Indifferent.
Indifferent, yeah. The difference is bad. Because between hate and love is just one step. Thank you. It was
Thank
fun.
you.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Bye-bye.